to date with me on everything, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. It's at JoshWRB, and hit that subscribe button and notification bell if you're new, because that's the best way to stay up to date with all my videos right when they come out. Hey guys, how's it going? It's JoshWRB here, bringing you a brand new review. Today, talking to you guys about War of the Planet of the Apes, Matt Reeves' second installment into this trilogy. He did Dawn of the Planet of the Apes as well, and that movie, okay, so I was never a huge fan of the Planet of the Apes, like, franchise. I do have the toys up there. I guess when I first saw the Tim Burton one, I really liked Mark Wahlberg, and I just wanted to have all the toys because I just thought it was kind of cool. But that movie really sucked. It was terrible. When it came to this trilogy, I just want to give you full disclosure of how I kind of went into this trilogy. The first one came out, I skipped it completely. I was like, I'm not a fan of Planet of the Apes, so I just skipped it. And then a day before Dawn of the Planet of the Apes came out, I got my hands on Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and I watched it because I knew the day it came out that I was going to be seeing it because there was something going on with my family, and I had some free time, so I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm just going to check it out. So I watched Rise, and I was really pleasantly surprised. I like that as an origin story for this trilogy. And then Dawn comes, and it blew me away. Like, I didn't see it coming. We're talking about War of the Planet of the Apes, but I'm just setting it all up to you because this is like a perfect trilogy. My favorite trilogy of all time is still Back to the Future. That is just it's a pure trilogy. They haven't added to it or made it, 4 other movies. Leaving Dawn of the Planet of the Apes the way it did, I thought that this movie was going to be more the same like what Dawn of the Planet of the Apes did. Because if that happened, I don't think it would have made this as good of a movie. But Dawn was so good for me that I was like, if it is another Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, I'll be happy with that because that movie was so good. This one, no, it's not like that at all. Like, it starts out and you feel it has sort of the same feel as Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and then it completely does a hard left turn, and then the movie goes in a completely different direction, and it all works together so well. There's the only thing that I have to give this for a downfall is the 2 hour and 20 minute time frame. If they cut, like, that's just for me. The second act just seems like it takes a little bit too long. There's not a lot going on. Like, yes, it is a war movie, but it turns into like a capture movie and how to escape, and Woody Harrelson's character is just torturing these animals, and it's ruthless. It's brutal at times, and I didn't expect that, and it's hard to watch at times because how brutal it is on screen. Like, they don't cut away at points where they're like beating them up and stuff, and you feel for these characters, and that's why this movie is done so well, because this movie is almost exclusively about the apes, and the human characters and storylines in this movie have storylines, but it really is about the apes, and you really feel for these characters. Like I said, there were so many decisions just made so well in this movie, like with the score and the lack of dialogue in this movie, because they're signing most of the time. It worked so well. The cinematography in this movie is phenomenal, like phenomenal. It kind of almost sucked that it was so good, because it was literally taking me out of the movie for the first little bit of the movie. Every shot I was like, oh my god, that is amazing. Oh my god, that is beautiful. Oh, like, and the steady cam, like, otherworldly following of characters, like, so smooth. I've never seen camera work this smooth before. I probably have, but just like a masterpiece of cinematography. And the score worked so well because it was very understated at times, and it would only flare up the tiniest bit, and it added to each scene so well. Yeah, other than the timeline being just the tiniest bit too long, because with all these things being done so well, like the lack of dialogue and all that stuff, like when characters die in this movie, you literally feel for them because of the way the score is placed, and it dips out like as soon as the life leaves the character, the score leaves the movie, and it lets that whole scene sink in, and they drew out those like sink in moments perfectly, because every action has a really terrible reaction. I can't talk about this movie without praising the special effects. I just believed that these apes, these gorillas, these monkeys, all of them, I just believed that they were real because it's just done so well. Caesar is just such a good character, and Andy is just such a good motion capture actor. It's just, he is the #1 when it comes to this. So Caesar, unbelievable. This is the end of the trilogy. I'm kind of sad that this is the end of the trilogy because this is like taking a franchise that I didn't really care about and making me really care about it. So this movie is getting 5.5 out of 6 just because it was the tiniest bit too long, but those bookends of the start and end of this movie are just so crazy, and the middle just makes you care so much about every single character. There's a laugh out loud character that is introduced in this movie as well that gives you the comedic relief. It's just, it has everything. Go and see this movie. I'm so happy that I got into this franchise. You should too if you haven't already, but that's all I got for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to click this video you see on the screen. You might actually like it. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Have a nice day, guys.